Aloha, aloha, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We are here at the beautiful Ala Moana Hotel. Thank you to, they are one of our sponsors. And today you're going to be treated to just an amazing workshop with some just fantastic teachers. And just in a little while, we're going to introduce to you Kama Hopkins, who comes from a very musical family. And it's just so amazing playing the old Hawaiian style songs on the ukulele. So today, we decided to put 4 different types of teachers on. So you're going to hear Kama Hopkins, you're going to hear Lauren Baba, who loves pop music, Ohta Jr., who really needs no introduction because he is just a legend here in the state of Hawaii, and he's traveled all over the world. And to complete the workshop, I'll try to teach you folks something on the ukulele. And something just came to me prior to opening up that I'm going to show you. Now, you may not have this on the download, but that's okay, because I'll be able to help you. So before we start, the first thing I'd like to thank Craig and Sarah. They're our production team, and they're working really hard behind the scenes to put all this together so that hopefully we'll look good on camera. Okay, but here we go. I want to start off by saying we hope all of you will go to our website and go online to our silent auction. Now, it's going to be open until July 17th. In this auction, I have a list here because I don't want to miss anybody. We have some beautiful ukuleles from our sponsors that you can bid for. We have the Kamaka ukulele. We have the Koaloha ukulele Kanilea, the Kala ukulele. We have a Martin Is ukulele, as well as the Shima ukulele and our 50th anniversary souvenir ukulele, along with Hawaiian Host Candy. We have tickets to Jack Johnson's concert on the July 29th and 30th. And also, again, thank you to the Ala Moana Hotel, who is one of the items is a 2-night stay right here at this hotel. And this hotel is right next to Ala Moana Shopping Center and across the beach from Ala Moana Park. And it's an ocean view room. So please check out our silent auction items. Please bid, because every cent goes to help support Ukulele Festival Hawaii that has put on these festivals throughout all the years, okay? Now, we have something special that I want to show you. Let's see if I can get this correctly, because this is something that I don't want to jam up here. Take a look at this. Okay, it's a flour sack towel. It's a souvenir item, and what's so special about this is that it has the history of the Ukulele Festival. There's a towel over there if you can bring to me. And what you're going to do, what's so beautiful about this is that this is all, here, take a look at this. Let me show it to you. This is just an amazing thing that was done. Can you see it? Look at that. So this is what a flour sack towel looks like. And in the old plantations days, this was so very, very popular. So I have some things here because I don't want to miss out on this. This was designed by Vivian Flores, a local artist. She actually hand-sketched by looking at different pictures to put this together. What is so wonderful about this towel? Well, first of all, it was also, by the way, manually screened. It's not automated, it was manually screened. It's super soft, it's completely lint-free and quick drying. So I asked my wife, what does lint-free mean? And she says, well, when you wipe down things, you wipe down your dish and there's no streaks. And I've already had so many comments from people that have purchased this towel that they love it. Well, these 3, if you purchase 3 at one time, you get a 25% discount, and it's just $45. If you purchase 1, it's $20. But we only have a limited supply available, so we hope that you'll go online and purchase one of these, because I have a feeling we're going to run out very quickly on this. Okay, so this is one of the things that we have. Okay, and now, all of you have your ukuleles, right? And before we start, you're going to tune your ukuleles. G, C, E, A. I want to thank Lauren. I'm borrowing Lauren's ukulele. And again, this is G, C, E, A. Now, if you have a low G, this is the low G. G, C, E, A. All right? So, in a little while, let me just show you something. You can practice this if you'd like to. You're going to hold your C chord. For those of you that are just learning, This is your F chord where you put your pointer and middle finger like this. And of course, you have G7, which is like this. So for now, those three chords will help you. But of course, Kama is starting off with in the key of G. Am I right, Kama? No, in the
We'll start this one in D.
D.
Different
Okay,
song,
that's
yeah.
right, D. So he's going to show you how to hold D. There's several ways to hold it. And Kama, did you know that in the 1950s they held D like this?
Yeah, with their thumb.
Yeah.
That's right, Roy. Yeah.
That was the way we did it way back because we couldn't get the sound otherwise. So actually, I'm going to start him a little early because he's such an exciting performer, and he's been singing his whole life. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you a very special friend who has supported Ukulele Festival for many, many, many years. He's there every year helping us. So how about a big hand? Here we go with Kama Hopkins.
Hey, mahalo, 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 Roy. You know, before I start, my name is Kama Hopkins, and I am 1/3 of the group Holunape. I'm also 1/3 of the group Nue na Ukulele Kolu, 1/3 of the group Keola Kapo Kalani Serenaders, and 1/3 of the group Mahie. Now, Roy talked about myself coming from a musical family. In our family, yes, on the Hopkins side of the family and the Adolfo side of the family, we're all musical. And some of you may know a great grand aunt of mine, Auntie Genoa Kiave, and also my grandma, Momi B. Kahawaiola'a. My grandma is 95 years old, and she's been playing music for, I want to say, 70 years. So 7 decades of playing. And, you know, the songs I'm going to teach you today are really something that come from inside. I will share one that we wrote for our group, the Ukulele Friends of Hawaii, and another that my grandma, her sisters, the B sisters, and John Kamealoha Almeida recorded on 49th State Records many, many years ago. But today we're going to start off with a song that talks about how we actually pronounce the word ukulele and why we love it so much here in Hawaii. The song is called Ukulele Player. And when we wrote the song, it was really to help others learn how to pronounce the word ukulele. We have it pronounced all kinds of ways around the world. Some people say ukulele, some people just say the uke, but I want to send a special mahalo to Kathy Sakuma. You know, it was Kathy many, many years ago who actually told me, he said, come on, you know, you folks play such beautiful music, Holunape, and once again, thank you to Roy and Kathy. They recorded us some years ago in the 2000s for 2 great projects. We really say mahalo nui, but it was Kathy who said, you know, it's about time that we really remind people how to pronounce the word, because you know, we don't really focus on it. Kathy was always a stickler for making sure that wherever I was, I didn't just say the uke, you know, like how people say it. I always said ukulele. And so I want to thank Kathy. Thank you very much, Kathy. And because of that, and because of us really wanting to share the beautiful music of the ukulele, I wrote a song. This song is entitled Ukulele Player. Now, the chords we're going to use today for this song are quite simple. You know, as you heard Roy, if you folks were here before we actually started today, I intended to play all of these chords just the way you're viewing them right now. So D, what I do is I use my index finger and I play the top three strings, and we play the D chord, right like that. And then we can use the D7 without an actual D. This is the Hawaiian D7, we call it. You know, you go ahead and you place your ring finger on the top string, your second finger on the 3rd string in the 2nd fret. Some people say 2020, however you like to do it. This is how we play D7. And then G, right there on your screen. I take my 1st finger, put it on the second string in the second fret, then my second finger on the fourth string in the second fret, and then my third finger on the third string in the third fret. And then A7 is the other chord. Your first finger on the second string in the first fret. And then we also use an E7 in this song, and that's your first finger on the first string in the first fret, your second finger on the second string in the second fret, and your third finger, which is always the toughest for some people, on the bottom string in the second fret. And together, these chords help make up this song. But as I was coming in today and listening to Roy play, I had something else move inside of me. So today, we're also going to add the D6, which is basically just you just bar the second fret. It adds a little bit of color. As Roy always reminds us, make sure you tell people these chords, the same basic chord, D, but they just add a little bit of color to the chord. And also, we're going to play this D7. You add your second finger to the bottom string of the third fret. Okay? All right, so those are two chords we're going to add. And if I play something unexpectedly, I'm sure Sarah or Craig will say, hey, what chord was that you play? But let's go ahead and go through the first section of this song. As you see, the intro is going to be the E7, the A7, and the D, or D6, whichever is easiest for you. And in most Hawaiian styles of playing, we will usually play a simple intro like this twice. Why do we do that? Mainly, it's to prepare for hula. A lot of Hawaiian music or hapahaole music was used to share a story. And what better way to do it than having someone there to share that through hula. So the hula and Hawaiian music go hand in hand. And let me just back up really quick. Before we go into this song, hapahaole music is a style of music basically sharing Hawaiian thought, something about an experience in Hawaii, a place, a time, a person. But what we did was use the English language to share the experience. So that's why we call it hapahaole. You know, kind of half English and half Hawaiian. So this particular song, we start off once again with the E7, the A7, and the D, and we do that twice. But for now, let's just practice that. Okay, so everybody get ready to play. We're going to play along. Ready? Here we go. This is the tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, E7, go. E7, A7, and D. One more time. E7, A7, and D. As we're playing, E7 twice, A7 twice, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, E7, A7, D. And one more round, everybody. E7, A7, and D. Very good, very good. Now this next line, or the first line of the song, we have the word okina. And an okina is basically, it's kind of like a backwards apostrophe. So as you look at the title of the song, Ukulele Player, you see that okina, or that backwards apostrophe, written right before the U. The intent of that okina is to cause a pause. In English, I believe it's called a glottal stop. And basically, as you're speaking, you kind of stop your speech just to give that little bit of space. Now, of course, this is at the beginning of the song, so it's kind of hard to tell. But we use that mark as actually part of today's Hawaiian alphabet. So the song starts off with okina. And why? Because that's how we spell it. In Hawaiian spelling, in the Hawaiian language, we say this. Okina, u, ke, u, la, e, la, e. And that's the Okina, U, K, U, L, E, L, E. That's the Hawaiian way we say it. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at that first line, and everyone repeat after me. Okina, U, Ke, U, La, E, La, E. All right? So that's it. It's really fairly simple. And this is what it sounds like. Okina uke ula e la e. That's what it sounds like. Okina uke u la e la e. That's how we pronounce, or that's how we spell ukulele in Hawaiian. Okay? So the chords we use, first the D, and then D7, and then G. Some of you, if you're bar chord players, some of you may prefer this G. Hey Sarah, could you add this G? You know, it's just like playing an F, but all we do is we move it up. So the bar becomes your finger. And you go ahead and bar the second fret just like a D6, and then you play an F right next to it, an F chord. Yeah? So whichever way you prefer, whatever is in you that feels the easiest, go ahead and play that. Okay? All right, so once again, let's review. Okina u ke u la e la e. The chords are D, D7, and G. Okay? Now let's do it one more time together with the intro. Here we go. A 1, 2, E7, go. Okina u ke u la e la e. Very good, very good. Not so hard. Yeah, not so hard. Okay, the next line, the ukulele is what we play. We're gonna go ahead and incorporate the A7 chord. And it goes like this. A7, and then D. All right, so it'll sound like this. The ukulele is what we play. One more time, everybody. A 1, 2, A7, go. The ukulele, D is what we play. Okay, one more time. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. A7, D. Okay, let's add in the next line. 4 strings, 6 strings, 8 strings, 2. Why is that? Come on, why are you saying 4 strings, 6 strings, 8 strings, 2? And then continuing that verse, and the tipple has 10, if that's for you. Many of you know the ukulele to have 4 strings, but we also have a 6-string ukulele, an 8-string ukulele, and also a 10-string ukulele. That's called a tipple. For many, many years, those were really the ukulele that you had to choose from. A 4-string, a 6-string, an 8-string, or a 10-string. Well, recently, Kanilea added a 5-string. You know, so we want to tell them thank you very much. Eventually, I'll change the words probably to something like 4, 5, 6 strings, 8 strings, 2, but not today. Otherwise, I'll confuse myself. Okay? But let's try adding those last 2 lines because I think we can all do it. Let's try. Remember, 4 strings, 6 strings, we're going to go right back to the G, whichever way you want to play it. Okay? So it'll go like this. 4 strings. Let's start on the third line. 4 strings. It'll be, you're still in D. 4 strings, 6 strings, change to G, 8 strings, 2. Now we go to A7, and the tipple has 10, if that's for you. Now I know I originally wrote the D over that word for, but it's probably better in your own time, go ahead and move the D over to the word you. Okay? Let's try slowly. Let's try slowly those last two lines. 4 strings. Okay, so we're actually still in D. A 1, 2, ready, go. 4 strings, 6 strings, 8 strings, 2, and the tipple has 10, if that's for you. Okay? All right, let's try the whole thing. Let's try the whole verse, including the intro. Here we go. We're going to start on E7. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, go. Okina, okina uke ula ela e. The ukulele is what we play. 4 strings, 6 strings, 8 strings, 2, and the tipple has 10, if that's for you. Okay? Now I know some of you are out there thinking, wow, what is Kama doing with his strum? What's he doing? I can tell you, the Hawaiian strum, the real Hawaiian strum really starts off with a basic chop strum. Just like playing a jazz guitar. You can use your forefinger, your first finger and your thumb. You can go ahead and just chop it down and then come up if you want. What I do, well, the chop originally is just down. Bop, bop, bop. Just down. Most Hawaiian players will play down, up, 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 down, up. But really play what feels best inside. That's what I tell all of my students. You play what you feel. Play what you feel. Play what you feel. Just like how I told you at the beginning of the day, I intended to fully do it the way it's in your packet, and then I heard Roy play something on the side. I said, oh, no, my inside tells me, let's be a little more colorful today. Okay? So however you feel, go ahead and play. But the strum really should be something very simple. Very simple. It doesn't have to be fancy. Let's go ahead and review this verse one more time, and then we're going to go into the chorus. Here we go. E7, A7, D. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, go. Okina uke ula ela e. The ukulele is what we play. 4 strings, 6 strings, 8 strings, 2, and the tipple has 10, if that's for you. Now, in the chorus, I'm an ukulele player, I'm an ukulele player who will play all day for you. Most of us who love playing the ukulele, we literally could play it all day long and have so much fun doing it. And that's why I wrote this part as the chorus, to really sum up how we feel about playing the ukulele. All right? The chord is going to start with, the first chord we're going to use is D. Okay? So let's try it together. D. 1, 2, ready, go. Next chord is a G. 1, 2, ready, go. Now an A7. Go. And now another D. And really, gang, it's as simple as that. This is how it goes. Follow along. It's really easy. A 1, 2, go. I'm an ukulele player. G, an ukulele player. A7. Let's go faster. I'm an ukulele player. G, an ukulele player. A7, ukulele player. Who will play all day? D. Let's go back to the top. Okina uke ula ela e. The ukulele is what we play. 4 strings, 6 strings, 8 strings too. And the tipple has 10, if that's for you. I'm an ukulele player. G, an ukulele player. A7, I'm an ukulele player. Who will play all day for D? I'm an ukulele player. G, an ukulele player. A7, I'm an ukulele player. Now, when you get to the end, we have these chords in red. A7, and then D, G, and D. And this is how it goes. All we do is we elongate. Who will play all day for you? And it'll sound just like this. A7, who will play all day? D, for you. G, ooh, D, ooh. Okay? So that's the song. Now, I know you're gonna be like, oh, come on. Man, we started, we stopped, we went line by line, we changed chords, we did all these words. Can you do it so we can have a recording to follow? Absolutely. We're gonna do that right now. So play along, everybody. Here we go. A 1, 2, ready, go. Okina uke ula ela e. The ukulele is what we play. 4 strings, 6 strings, 8 strings too. And the tipple has 10, if that's for you. I'm an ukulele player. An ukulele player. I'm an ukulele player. Who will play all day for you? I'm an ukulele player. An ukulele player. I'm an ukulele player. Who will play all day for you? From the top. Okina uke ula ela e. The ukulele is what we play. 4 strings, 6 strings, 8 strings too. And the tipple has 10, if that's for you. I'm an ukulele player. An ukulele player. I'm an ukulele player. Who will play all day for you? I'm an ukulele player. An ukulele player. I'm an ukulele player. Who will play all day for you? And that's the song, Ukulele Player. Mahalo, mahalo, everybody. Mahalo, mahalo. The next song we'd like to do, so we'll put that to the side, and then we'll bring on a song entitled the Hukilau Song. In 1948, Jack Owens, he was out in Laie, and people out in Laie at that time called the place Laia. So today we use the term Laia, Laie, whatever is easiest for you to remember. But out there's a place called Hukilau Beach, and it was actually given that name for the activity that people did during that time. Hukilau is a type of fish gathering. You'd have a net, underneath, and there are tea leaves at the top usually, and the net goes ahead right and is laid right across the bay, the small bay. And during my grandma's childhood, sometimes during the year, sometimes during the summer, all of the kids, the adults, the kupuna, the older folks in the community, they would all go down to the beach. And everybody would go in the water and they'd grab pieces of the net. And it looks like they're just grabbing leaves. And that's why it's called hukilau. Huki means to pull, and lau is a leaf. And so it looks like you're grabbing the leaf and you're pulling. And everyone is pulling at the same time, and they're bringing the net and catching all the fish as they come into shore. And then once that was done, everyone would take different fish, or the fish would be split up amongst all of the families in Laia, and they would go home and eat and enjoy their time together as a family. And so he saw this, and he wrote a song. And I can't remember the exact year. I want to say it was 1960, but I might be wrong. But my grandma, Momi B. Kahawaiola'a, and her two sisters, Henrietta and Esther, or Lani, they had a group known as the B Sisters. And these are the three nieces of Auntie Genoa Keawe. Mr. John Kamealoha Almeida, one of the most famous composers and musicians we have here in Hawaii, heard these three and said, look, girls, we need to do this song. It's a song written by Jack Owens that talks about your family home out in Laie and where they used to pull in all the leaves, where they did the hukilau. And of course, my grandma folks said, oh yeah, we do that. We do that with them. And so this song was created from that experience. Now, this is one of the most iconic Hapa Haole songs, and many of you out there already know the words, but you might not know how to play it. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these chords that we're going to use. Guess what? They're mostly the same chords we used in the ukulele player. So let's try these. Practice one more time. A7. Let's do it 5 times. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. A7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. D7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now E7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if we follow along, we're going to do it slowly. Let's just go ahead and follow what's on the paper. Okay? The intro is A7, D7, and G7. And once again, how many times are we going to do the intro? That's right, 2. 2 times, okay? Here we go. Let's go ahead and have some fun with this one. Let's sight read, gang. We'll go ahead right here, follow along with the chords. We're going to do it slowly, so just have fun with it. Here we go. 1, 2, A7, go. Everybody loves the hukilau, where the lau is the kau, G, the big luau. E7, we throw our nets out into the sea. A7, the amma, come swimming to me. Oh, we're going E7 to a hukilau. D7, a hukilau. G, what a wonderful day for fishing. D7, the old Hawaiian way. Sorry. Where the hukilau nets are swishing. A7, down at old Laie. D7, hey, G, oh, we're going to a hukilau. A hooky, D7 hukilau. Everybody loves the hukilau, where the lau 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 is the cow cow. G, the big blue owl. E7, we throw our nets out into the sea. A7, and all the come swimming to me. G, oh, we're going E7 to Okinawa. D7, a hooky, 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 lao. Very simple, gang. You just learned one of the most iconic Hapahaole tunes right here in Hawaii. A song written in 1948 by Jack Owens. Now, some of you might know that in the group that I play in, Nue, we, Mr. Brian Tolentino and Hale Akaka, Brian, of course, on the tenor ukulele, and Hale on the baritone ukulele, and I play the bass ukulele. We like to have a lot of fun, and we like to add a lot of color to the music that we play, a lot of colorful chords. Well, Sarah was nice enough to videotape me playing the way I play the song, and I hardly ever play it the same way twice, and I still might not play it again the right way here. But you have, in your packet, you have the song the way I did it on video. And it's got all of these beautiful, colorful chords. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and play the song the way I would naturally play it. And if it comes out exactly like this, great. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. But these are just other colorful chords that you can go ahead and add when you play along to the Hukilau song. So it goes like this. I hope you enjoy it. Oh, we're going to a Hukilau. A hooky, 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 hooky lao. Everybody loves the hooky lao. Where the lao lao, it is a cow cow with a big blue owl. We'll throw our nets out into the sea, and all the come swimming to me. Oh, we're going to a hooky lao. A hooky, 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 hooky lao. What a wonderful day for fishing, the old Hawaiian way, where the Hukilau nets go swishing down at old Laie Bay. Oh, we're going to a Hukilau, a hooky, 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 Hukilau. Everybody loves the Hukilau. Where the lau lau is a cow cow with a big blue owl. We'll throw our nets out into the sea, and all the come swimming to me. Oh, we're going to a Hukilau. A hooky, 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 lao. Hope you had fun today. Mahalo, everybody. Enjoy the day. This is going to be a great day of fun. But thank you so much to Roy. Thank you to the Ukulele Festival Hawaii. Thanks, Craig and Sarah. Have a great day, everybody. Aloha.
Well, you stay right there, Kama, because I have to say, I was just sitting here enjoying listening to your playing, listening to your singing.
And Roy was picking out all of the wrong chords I was playing. Come on, come on. But that's okay. Hey, Roy, remember you always used to tell us what's in you, let it out, have fun. Yeah, it's a passing chord.
And let me tell you, you did let it out. You just had that spirit in you. And that's the key, right? That's the key to playing the ukulele and enjoying your music. You don't have to memorize everything step per step. Just enjoy and play. Don't worry if you make a mistake, right?
Yeah,
but the way you played, it was beautiful. I mean, I was just sitting there relaxing, and I was going to tell you, Hana Ho, play another song. But this is why we're the board, and we decided we got to bring this guy here, because I'm sure all of you agree that his music, his style of playing, and just the joyful look that he has. You know, that word kama means like, we're talking about, it means like a child. And I told Kama, you have that spirit, that love of a child, and it just flows out of you. So, come on, ladies and once more, can we have a big hand for Kama?
Thank you,
Kama.
everybody. Mahalo, mahalo, Roy. Thank you so much. Mahalo.
Okay, right now, before I introduce our next guest artist who's going to be teaching you some pop music, we'd like to show you some historical footage of the Ukulele Festival.
Grown, so much. Over 800 plus ukulele players today.
That's correct.
And you have so many guests that are here today.
Well, we're very fortunate that many of the top entertainers, not only in Hawaii but the world, that play the ukulele, support this event and give from the bottom of the heart. And they come out here to just be a part of this event, because truly the stars of this show held every year are the children. They are the big stars. And all these entertainers like Ohta-san, Raya Tea Helm, James Ingram, and all these great entertainers, Yuji Igarashi, Lyle Ritz, Daniel Ho, Joy, all these entertainers that come out today are just a small part of a big production that features primarily all the youngsters of Hawaii, and they are led by a staff of young teenage or young adults that's kind of coordinate and put this thing together. Kathy and I, my wife, kind of oversee everything, but we have a great staff that volunteers their time to make this happen every year. You know, we've had the opportunity to work with so many youngsters that developed into great talent. Jake, for instance, been with us for over 6 years when he was a student. We've had, I just met Jan Luna from the SOS.
Right.
And Makana, he was with us for several years, and the list goes on and on. Kelly Boy De Lima started with us, so did Imor Garza, Daniel Ho. So it's great to see these young students develop into great entertainers. But my wife and I are just as proud as those that didn't pursue entertainment, for those that became the leaders of the high school band or just learned to play the ukulele and shared it when they went to college with all over the world. And it's just a great, great feeling.
Wow, awesome. Once again, we hand it to you. Now, where do you see the Ukulele Festival going in the next 5-10 years?
I think definitely worldwide. It's happening all over the U.S. It's happening in Japan. We got calls from Australia, New Zealand, and even Great Britain.
Wow.
And even Spain. And I think this ukulele trend has not seen its full potential. It's going to happen, and we're just happy to be a small part of it, promoting it here right in the state of Hawaii. There you see, right there, was a little history of the Ukulele Festival. And this was way back in, I believe, 2005. And this dream that has now just flowed throughout the whole world. So we want to say aloha to all of you. Thank you for joining us and for spreading the joy of the ukulele. As our Ukulele Festival Hawaii nonprofit, our mission statement is to bring laughter, love, and hope throughout the music of the world, and throughout Hawaii and the world, to the music of the ukulele. So thank you again for joining us today, and don't forget to check our website, go online for our silent auction items, all those beautiful ukuleles for sale, as well as, you're gonna also can go online for this towel that I talked about earlier, the flour sack towel. It's available, and there's only a limited supply available, okay? And, right now, for our second guest, for our workshop today, is a young lady that many years ago was a student of ours, and she went on to great things. She was a teacher for us, and then she went into a career of her own. So we're very excited to present to her, because now we go from kama, from that old Hawaiian style of playing, we're going to go to the pop culture. So, hey, let's put our hands together. Here we go. This is Lauren Baba.
All right. Hello. Hi, everybody. I am Lauren Baba. I've been teaching for Roy and Kathy since maybe about 2006, and it's been a long time, and I have learned so much from them. So super grateful to be here. After teaching at the studio and kind of during, I started playing some gigs on my own, and through through my ukulele journey, I guess you would call it, I found that one of the most rewarding things through playing music is just finding ways to make it your own. And I think that pop music really lends itself to that because it gives you the room to make adjustments and add your own flair. So we're gonna talk about some of that today. A couple of disclaimers about my workshop. Judging by just the company that I'm in today in this room and the lineup of instructors, I'm gonna say that I think my workshop is probably gonna be catered more towards the beginners or the kiddos.
Good.
And you know, these are just tips that I'm sharing that I've picked up along the way. A lot of them come from the studio or from, you know, just fooling around on the instrument. And you know, there's a lot of great resources out there. This is just kind of like my 2 cents and some of the thoughts that that I want to share. And also, I would like to say that this is my first time teaching a virtual workshop, so please be kind. I have kind of a bit that I want to touch on today, so I might go at a little bit of a quicker pace. So the first thing that I want to talk about just before we really get into anything is I just want to give a couple of tips on how to hold your ukulele and like try to build that foundation, just like a couple of tips to share. So when you're holding your ukulele, you want to hold it flat against your stomach. There's 2 bumps on your ukulele. There's a big bump and a little bump. You want to put this hand, your right, for me it's my right hand, if you play the same way as I do, you want to put your right hand on the small bump. And then we're going to talk about the left hand for a little bit, the rule of thumb, you can say. So when you play with your thumb, you want to put your thumb behind, kind of behind the 2nd fret of your ukulele, so right over here. And you want to keep your thumb on the neck of the ukulele, and you want to give yourself some room over here so your thumb can kind of swivel or pivot. That's good because it allows you to kind of reach all the way down there, and it gives you a lot of mobility. So what we used to tell our students at the studio, or what I used to tell my students, is when you play the ukulele, you want to make sure you're doing a good job. So this stands for a good job, thumbs up. So when you're playing, you always want to keep your thumb up. You never want to be doing a so-so job. Sometimes people hold their ukes like this, and then they can't really get to a lot of different places on the ukulele. So you always want to be doing a good job when you're playing the ukulele. I don't know what kind of job this is, but some people play like this too. That's more for guitar players, but for the ukulele, you always want to be holding your thumb here. So those are the couple of tips I just wanted to give before we start today. I'm gonna get into the first song now. The first song is Can't Help Falling in Love. So is Can't Help Falling in Love a pop song, or is it an oldie? I would argue that it is a pop song because it has this unforgettable melody, and it's been reinvented so many times that it almost feels current. So, you know, we all know the Elvis version. If you live in the islands, they play the UB40 version on the radio all the time, the more reggae style version, right? And then recently, I don't know if any of you saw Crazy Rich Asians, but Kina Grannis did a super beautiful version that they played in that iconic wedding scene. If you know, you know. So we're gonna talk about that song a little bit today. For both of the songs that I go over today, I'll tell you how to play it. I'll quickly go over how to play it, and then I'll also go over how to make it fun. And fun could be another word for challenging. So let's talk about the chords for Can't Help Falling in Love first. We're gonna look at the chord sheet. Sarah put the chord diagrams on the top of the page, and you know, even though Can't Help Falling in Love is seems like a simple melody and a simple tune, but actually there's quite a bit of chord changes in this song. So that makes this song a really good one to practice and to help exercise your fingers to get from one place to another on the ukulele. So we're gonna talk about the chords at the top of the sheet. These are kind of like the chords that appear a lot in the song. So the first one is C. You're gonna put your ring finger on the C note on the bottom string. Next chord is E minor. So you're gonna put your pointer finger on the 2nd fret, bottom string, and then your other fingers are gonna make steps going up. There's another variation of E minor that you can hold if you want to. I'm gonna try to use this pencil, and all you do is add your ring finger, add this knuckle it to the top. So then you'll be holding the top 2 strings of the 4th fret. This is the one that I tend to gravitate towards. I think it's probably because I have a low G. I kind of like this one, the way that it sounds in the song. Next one is gonna be A minor. So all the way on the top of the 2nd fret. Then you're gonna add your pointer to F for an F chord. And then that last chord is G. So you're gonna put your pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the C string. Your middle finger goes all the way to the bottom. And then your ring finger is gonna go on the 3rd fret of the E string. I want to talk about, we're going to get into the first couple of lines of the song, but I want to talk about a little tip that we give some of our students at the studio. So when you're changing chords, especially like when you're going to E minor or to G, a tip that we tell our students a lot is to start with your pointer finger. So make sure that you know where your pointer finger is gonna go. I don't know why this is like, I don't know the science behind this. Maybe there isn't science, maybe it's all in the brain, but a lot of times where this leads, these will follow. So if you get your pointer finger on here, a lot of times you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I need to play this for E minor. So just keep that in mind as you're playing. And then we're gonna play through the first couple of lines together. The down, down, up, down strumming pattern is on the page, but let's not do that yet. Let's just go through it slowly together, and then we'll get to the down, down, up, down strumming pattern. So let's start. We'll just go through the first couple of lines together so we can get a feel for the song, just down strums slowly. All right, ready? Here we go. C chord, C, change to your E minor, A minor all the way at the top. You're gonna stay here for a little bit longer. Now add your pointer to F, change, and now your G chord, change. And you're gonna stay there for a little while. Next line, F chord, change to your G, middle all the way up to A minor. Add the pointer to F, ring on C, and then change to G, and then back to C. We're gonna stop there for a second, and we're gonna go into the down, down, up, down strumming pattern, but I do wanna give another tip before we go to the down, down, up, down. And that tip is when you're learning a new song and whenever you're trying something new and looking at this paper and saying, okay, I have to do the C, then I have to do the E minor, then I have to, when you're playing C, you should be looking at E minor. So you should always be kind of thinking to yourself, okay, what's the next thing that I have to do? And that's gonna help you to catch on to things and play things really quicker. Sorry, I'm gonna get rid of my ugly marks that I made on the sheet. Okay, so again, just a reminder, so keep on looking ahead. When we're in the moment, you might be playing C, but look at E minor. When you're playing E minor, say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna switch to A minor after this, and then I'm gonna be on there for a little while. I'm gonna have some time. Okay, so let's talk about the down, down, up, down strumming pattern. If you guys know it, then you know it comes kind of easily. If you're learning this strumming pattern, it might be a little bit more difficult, and the advice I would give here is if you look at this paper, Sarah has written out the arrows and they do go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. However, she's only highlighted the ones that go down, down, up, down. The down, down, up, down is kind of encapsulated in just moving your hand down, up. And so what you're doing is you're just accenting certain strums. And I think the best way that I've seen this taught is when Roy teaches it. He just tells people, okay, you're gonna play down, down, up, down. It might be hard, but just watch my hand and follow me. And I think the important thing to do is don't stop your hand from moving. It's almost like you want to remind yourself to not think too hard about it, because a lot of times when people think to themselves, okay, I gotta do down and then I gotta do down again and then I gotta go up and then down, it's gonna stuff you up kind of. It's gonna trip you up a little bit. So you just want to keep your hand moving. And then if you have somebody to follow, it helps a lot to follow them. So we're gonna play through the first couple of lines again. And then we're gonna jump down to the bridge to talk about the chords on the bridge. So ready? Play with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and down, down, up. Look ahead. E minor, E minor, A minor, all the way at the top. Stay there. Add the pointer. Change to the C. Make sure you're looking ahead. Change to the G. All right, I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. We're gonna go to the second line, F chord. But I change, can't change, help. Add the pointer. Falling back to in love. Change to the G. Okay, good job. I'm gonna skip the second verse. We're gonna jump to the bridge. And I wanna kind of talk about what we have written out here. So the way that we play the bridge is it goes, I usually play the ones that are not highlighted. So I'll go E minor to A minor 3 times. And then I'll go to F, and then I'll go to G. But what we also did is, the funny thing about this song is that you can play it with a myriad of different chords. So much so that when we were looking at this sheet and we were trying to go back and forth on it, Sarah, Roy, and I were putting our heads together and we're saying, should we share these chords or should we, but we thought that the ones that we listed, they're a nice alternative option if you want to play it differently than what is listed on the page. So we can go over what's in the box right now. So instead of going from E minor to A minor 3 times, what you're gonna do here is you're gonna go from E minor to B7 3 times. And a lot of people know this B7. I'll write it out right here. This is the B7 that a lot of us are used to. This B7, this is kind of what we know on the ukulele, but you can play an alternate variation of B7, and for this song it helps a lot. So we're gonna start with E minor, and to play the different B7, all you have to do is move every single finger up 1 string. So it looks exactly the same, but just moved up a string. So you're just gonna play E minor to B7 3 times. Surely to the sea. Last time. And then you're gonna go E minor. This is a new chord. C sharp diminished. Your pointer finger goes on the 1st fret of the C string, and your middle finger goes on the 1st fret of the A string. And then you're gonna go from D minor 7 to G7. If you've never played a D minor 7 before, it's pretty easy. You hold an F chord first, then you're gonna bend your knuckle down, and then you're gonna add your ring finger on C. This is D minor 7. And when you're changing from D minor 7 to G7, all you do is you kind of like condense this. So you're gonna go from D minor 7 to G7. So it goes E minor to B minor, or to B7, I'm sorry. 3 times, and look ahead. E minor, we're gonna do the diminished chord. D minor 7, condense it to G7. And that's the alternate chords for the bridge. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about on this song is how to make it a little fun or a little different. The way that I play this song a lot is I like to pick it instead of strum it. So we went through the down strums, we went through strumming down, down, up, up, down. I like to do the picking for it. So the picking pattern that I play is written here on this diagram. And basically it has the numbers. The numbers is the order in which you play the strings. So if we're on C, you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, bottom 2, 3. And so the way that I play it is I use my thumb and I pick the top 3 strings first. So I'll go top 2, 3, and then I'll use my pointer finger to play the bottom 2 strings and then bring my thumb back in. I don't know why, that's just what feels right to me. So let's try that a couple of times. C, we're gonna go top 2, 3 first. Ready? Here we go. Top 2, 3. Top 2, 3. Bottom 2, 3. Stay there. Top 2, 3. Bottom 2. One more time. Top 2, 3. Bottom 2, 3. One thing I want to point out here, a little tip. Whenever you're kind of like double picking or using multiple fingers to pick a pattern on the ukulele, one of the things that helps is to always have an anchor. So what I'm talking about when I say anchor is these fingers that are holding on to the ukulele for me right here. And when I go top 2, 3, bottom 2, 3, it helps me, these fingers help me to keep my hands steady and keep the time. You're kind of like pretty loose if you just go top 2, 3, bottom, and you have nothing to grab onto, right? So I've seen people, hold down over here. For me on this song, I like to grab up here for some reason. And that's kind of the picking pattern that I use. So I'm going to play through the song with the picking pattern. Feel free to play along. It gives the song a different feeling because I think it's in a different time signature, so it's kind of more waltzy and ballady. So I'll play through the song and then we can get to the next song. But this is the picking pattern. Wise men say only fools rush in. I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? I'm gonna do the regular chords. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. So take my hand, take my whole and that was Can't Help Falling in Love. And now we're gonna move on to the second song. The second song is Sunday Morning. This song is by Maroon 5, and I'm gonna teach you the way that I play it. This song is a super fun song to play. So one of the ways that you can make a song your own is kind of as you're going through your ukulele journey and as you're listening more, as you're practicing more and playing more, you start to hear the different patterns in the songs. And a medley is when you kind of push a few songs together. And so that's the way that I play this song. Sunday Morning goes really well with the song Chocolates and Roses by The Green. The Green is a local band, and Chocolates and Roses is a super pretty song. It's one of my favorite songs by them. If you don't know, you should look it up, but you probably know because The Green is super good. So you can put the songs together if they, in this case, they have like a similar chord progression. So you can look for similar chord progressions, or even if a song is in like the same, couple songs are in the same key, or even if they have like the same feel. But so we're gonna talk about, oh, let me move this up. We're gonna talk about Sunday Morning now. Okay, great. Cool. Okay, I can see it. All right, so this song is pretty straightforward. It's three chords over and over again. So you're gonna start on D minor 7. So again, we can go over D minor 7. We did this for the bridge in Can't Help Falling in Love, but for D minor 7, you're gonna start with your F chord. You're gonna bend your knuckle down at the top, and then you're gonna add your ring on the 3rd fret of the bottom string. This is a D minor 7 chord. G7 chord, it's kind of like you're condensing this chord together. Triangle chord. And then C major 7, you're kind of already holding a C major 7. All you need to do is lift off your 2 fingers. But I like to play it with my middle finger. So it's D minor 7, G7, and C major 7. And the strumming pattern for this, I play it kind of differently to the way that the Maroon 5 song goes. So I'll play it with a little bit more of like a bouncy reggae-ish feel. So it kind of sounds like this. So when you write it out, it kind of looks like up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up. And a couple of ways to make this song fun is to add in muting and muffling. So a lot of people probably know what muffling is, and we actually have this section here where we're gonna muffle in the song. So muffling, a lot of people know as like chunking. So you just kind of lay your fingers onto the strings and you don't really put a lot of pressure on them. You kind of just touch them and it'll give you this chunking sound. But then when you're interjecting that in between chords, so our chords are D minor 7, G7, and C major 7. So D minor 7 is kind of easy because you're touching every string already. All you have to do is lightly lift, and then I'm already making the chunking sound. But for G7, you're only holding three strings. So what I do is I kind of use my other extra fingers, and I'll just use it to bar. If not, it would sound like this. And you can really hear that one string coming through. And then C major 7. You can chunk like that. And then another way to make it fun is to play it with the higher chords. So the higher chords are up here. This D minor 7, G7, and C major 7. You can also hold this high C major 7. Or you can just hold it like that if you want it to be easier. High D minor 7 is just barring the 5th fret. High G7 is like an F7, so you're gonna hold your F, add your ring finger and your pinky on the 3rd fret. You just move that up, everything up to the 3rd fret. And then the high C major 7 is bar 4 and bar 3 on 5 and 7. Or again, you can use this high one as well. Okay, the last thing you're gonna say about how to make this fun is to play with others. So this song is super fun to have a jam session with and play with your friends. So I'm gonna bring my friend out. Okay, perfect. Okay, can you see us?
Yeah.
This is Lopaka Terada Pagtila. He's been my friend for a long time too, and we met through ukulele and through working at the festivals with Roy, and we've become really good friends, and we really like to play music together. So we're gonna run through the song, and feel free to play along. I invite you to pick your poison. If you are not really comfortable with the chords yet, just try to follow along, watch our fingers, and kind of look at the chord changes and just try to, you don't even need a strum, just try to get your fingers correct. Or you can play with me. I'll be playing the D minor 7, G7, C major 7 here. Or you can try to follow Lopaka. At times he's gonna be playing the high chords. Or if you feel like you know everything, this song is 3 chords over and over, so feel free to solo or add in licks or whatever. So Lopaka is gonna count us in.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sunday morning rain is falling. Still some cover share some skin.
Lopaka. Thanks everybody for tuning in today, and thanks for watching me. And thank you to Roy and Kathy for the festival. It's been the best.
Yes.
Wow, Lauren, that was just wonderful. I enjoyed it, and you and Lopaka together. Of course, you know, Lopaka and Lauren together, with Lee also, they support us by doing all the ukulele festivals, not just on Oahu. They travel with us and give their time on the Maui Ukulele Festival, at the Waikoloa Ukulele Festival on the Big Island. And they even perform, and we have a great time. So, Lauren, I know your career is going to continue singing, and of course you got your Lee and Lopaka. And I said, you know, I was trying to think of a name for them because all three start with the letter L. So I was thinking, what can start with L? Lopaka, what starts with L that you can name yourselves?
I don't know if I should say it.
Because when I first said that on Waikoloa, I said, gee, the three L's, what could we name them? And Lopaka goes, oh, the three losers. I said, oh, no, not that. But, you know, anyway, I want to thank you folks because that was really wonderful. And that's the pop culture of music on the ukulele. So first we got to hear Kama Hopkins on the Hawaiian style of playing, and now we hear Lauren, Lopaka, as they did for you some of the popular music songs. So I want to thank you again, okay? Now, before we continue, I'd like to, again, thank you because I already received that we've been receiving sales on this, our towel. So this is very special. It's a commemorative towel of 50 years of the Ukulele Festival. It's hand sketched and hand screened. So we hope that you'll buy this online. 100% goes to Ukulele Festival Hawaii. Also, I'd like to take this time to remind you about our silent auction. We've been receiving bids on these ukuleles. We have a Kamaka ukulele, a Martin is special, a Koaloha ukulele, a Kanilea, a Kala ukulele, a Shima, and a 50th Souvenir Ukulele Festival ukulele. Along with tickets for Jack Johnson, we have the Hawaiian Host Candies, and of course a 2-night stay at the beautiful Ala Moana Hotel, Ocean View. Okay, so please go to that online portal and then just place your bids because it's going to last to July 17th. All right, so now, before we continue, I'd like to take a short commercial break, and here's a word from some of our sponsors.
Kala Brand Music is the world's largest ukulele company. We offer the most diverse line of ukuleles in the world and are the creators of the original U-bass. Our catalog of ukuleles has brought fun, innovative, high-quality, professional instruments to market since 2005. Our goal is to grow and develop musicians at every level. We value our customers and have earned their loyalty by providing them with affordable, top-quality instruments.
Kamaka ukulele began 100 years ago in the basement of a home in Kaimuki. Born out of one man's love for a humble 4-string instrument, a family tradition carried on by his sons, grandsons, and great-grandsons. Mahalo Hawai'i from the Kamaka Ohana. For a century of making your ukulele, for a century of your inspiration and friendship.
Kupu mauli no ke ola o ka ukulele ma ka wauna hele. Mina mina nui o kanilea I ka hoi hoi loko mai ka I aku. No ke la me ke ia ukulele I paano I ke kūkulu ia. Kanu hoi mā kou I mea ulu o iwi Hawai'i.
This all started over 25 years ago. Every day, we work together. Every day, we eat together and play together. Every day, our hands and hearts are guided by the goal of sharing joy with each strum. Every day, we put our love into each ukulele we make and hope to earn your love. We are Ko'aloha.
Again, thank you to all these wonderful companies that have supported us over the years. And a thank you to Tony Group, who is our title sponsor. They've been helping us for over 10 years, so thank you to Tony Group. And I'd like to just acknowledge all these sponsors because they've been great supporters. The Hawaii Tourism Authority, the Honolulu Service Disposable, the Johnson Ohana Foundation, the Moana Hotel, LRY Foundation, the Diamond Head Seafood Company, the World of Aloha, and also to Kamaka, Hawaii, to Ko'olau Ukulele, to Ko'aloha Ukulele Kanilea, to Kala Ukulele, to Hawaiian Host, Clayton Ching, my dear friend, and to the Aquila Strings, the Ukulele Site, Shima Ukulele, and McDonald's Hawaii. You know, all these sponsors have made it possible for us to continue to tradition of bringing you this workshops and festival free throughout the years. And you know, one of the things that I like to say is that, ladies and gentlemen, if you have ever seen our festival, then you know what it's all about, because it's all about bringing people together, families, and to see all these young people on stage, amateurs as well as children, as well as senior citizens. And in between these acts, you would see these great performers, the legends of Hawaii, performing on stage, but just doing a small portion, because they always gave the stage back to the young people, to the senior citizens, and to just people that love the ukulele. So you can, I believe you go to our website, we have some footage there of past in fact, especially if you go to the 50th annual, okay? Now that was 2 years ago. But on July 17th, we will be on KHNL TV at 7 p.m. for a 1-hour special on the ukulele, the 52nd Annual Ukulele Festival. And you can also, if you're around the world, just go online and follow this film that was put together. And I'm sure that I believe you folks will enjoy to see the history of this event. You know, right now, one of the highlights every year is to feature children. And this was a special moment recorded back in 2014 of the Children's Ukulele Band playing a song that is not easy to play. But it's a type of music that I always love to teach. Always challenging song, didn't matter what genre. But take a look at this, featuring the 2014 Children's Ukulele Band.
special guest.
Wasn't that beautiful back in 2014? Mason Williams recorded that song with an orchestra. It's called Classical Gas. I always think that was just a great song. So I'll tell you what we're going to do right now. So you folks all got your ukuleles ready to play, and what happened is my ukulele, because I like to play on a small one, something happened to the string. So now I had to borrow Lauren's ukulele, but as you can see, this is a tenor. It's a little too wide for my fingers that got kind of tight over the years, but I can still teach you. So you have them, but by the way, you can download these packets for free. Okay, so if you're tuning in, you can just download them. It's for free. You can download all the material that is being taught today. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show a little bit of ukulele concerto. And I realize that, I don't have to go through this really slowly and repetitiously, because this will remain on our website for a while. So which means that even if I go through something and you don't quite understand, all you have to do is go back to it later on. And that'll help you learn whatever I'm teaching you. So this will enable me to teach something that came to me as I was driving here. And having taught the ukulele for 56 years, I felt, I know exactly what I want to show you folks. And I'm going to show you in a little while, okay, after I do ukulele concerto. It's a song that I was teaching some of my senior citizens. They come from all over the mainland on Zoom. And I started in February. And then I decided to take a chance and teach something that you normally would not teach. And you know what? Somebody emailed me and they said, I love this. This is the best thing I've learned to date. So I'm going to try and show you this, and I believe you folks can do it if you follow me slowly. But first of all, here we go with the song that I wrote, and it's called Ukulele Concerto. So that first line, if you see the paper in front of you, those are the chords that you can hold, which is A minor on the 4th fret. And then the next chord, you bar the 2nd fret and put your baby finger on the 5th fret. This is D. Now you notice earlier comma showed you D, which is the top 3 strings. Okay. Now from my experience, many people have trouble with D. So let's say you're holding D with your pointer or middle finger, and it's hard to get your finger on the top 3 strings without the 4th string be muffled. Okay? Well, guess what? If you just play the top 3 strings and you cannot hear the 4th string, this bottom string, that's D. So that is correct. And you don't have to try and bend, especially for older people. It's hard to bend your finger like this. So I just wanted to bring that up. You can just strum the top 3 strings, the 4th string is going to be muffled, and that's D. So here we go. We're going to hold A minor. This is the introduction. And now you bar the 2nd, you go to D. You already learned how to hold G, and C, and F, and E7, and A minor, and then E7. So that's just the introduction to the song. Now we're going to the next line. We're going to learn the melody. So you can either use the tablature, you can use my musical notes, and you're going to basically pick A, B is on the 2nd fret, C is on the 3rd fret, and D is on the 5th fret. So that's the melody. And then it goes G, G, A, B, C, F, F, G, A, B, E, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. You notice when I'm playing, I'm always holding the chord. It's okay if you're just picking the notes for now, just to get used to it. But I'm playing more like, see, I'm holding A minor, but I go A, B, C, D. The reason is I can strum now. And I can go G, G, A, B, C. That's a half note, so I can strum. And now F, 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 G, A, B. All right, that's a B minor 7 minus 5 chords. And now you pick E, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, strum. So B minor 7 minus 5, you just hold D minor. And you put your ring finger underneath on B. So it looks almost the same as G7. If you hold your G7 chord and just put your middle finger on top, so you're holding 2 strings. There's the chord. All right? Now we go to the next line, and it's the same thing again. So you go A, B, C, D. You can strum the chord, and you continue. G, G, A, B, C, and you hit the chord. And you pick F, F, G, A, B. Now there's the B minor 7 minus 5 again, like that. They call it a B minor 7 flatted 5th. Hit the chord, and now you pick D, D, C, B, C, A. Now this is where it gets interesting on the next line. Every chord is just one beat. So you're going to have to strum A minor, D, G, C, F, E7, A minor. So the best way to do it is if you're holding A minor with your middle finger and you strum, then I recommend you just bend your middle finger down on the top 3 strings. Now, remember what I told you earlier? If you cannot get the sound from this last string, perfect. It's still D. D is this sound, just hearing 3. That's your D chord. So you can go A minor, bend your finger down to D, change to G, drop to C, change to F. Now go to E7 and A minor. Now you see a quarter rest. Now it's the same thing again. Play A minor, D, G, C, F, E7, A minor. Rest. Now the next line, you can strum, one of the patterns you can strum is you can just strum F 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and E7, 2, 3. Or you could strum F. Down, down, up, up, down, 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 up, down. What Lauren taught you earlier, how to do the down, down, up, down. Now the song repeats from the second line. Again, if you just joined us, as I mentioned a little while ago, I'm not going to this song very, very detailed because you can always go back online to view this workshop again and pick up things that you may have missed the first time, because there's a lot of things I want to show you. Now, when you repeat from the beginning, you go to the next page, which is the second ending. So whenever you repeat a song, when you go back and when you continue, you go to the second ending. And again, you see the same chords. It's F, E7. Now we come to this part. It's A minor, D. So you notice I'm muffling like Lauren was saying. Now, there's all kinds of rhythm patterns you can do right here. You don't have to stay with this. If I tried, I might confuse you right now. So I'm just going to stay this. A minor, D, D, and now you go. And then the song starts from the beginning again. Let me see if I can show you something. No, I better not teach you that. There's percussion. You can do percussion. I wonder if I can do it. I might scratch Lauren's ukes. I won't do it. In a little while, Lauren and Pak, they really enjoy playing ukulele concerto. So rather than me play it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have them play the song, okay? So, but you're going to just, to listen, because you're not going to be able to keep up with them because they're going to do it fast. But I want to take a break right now. I want to show you something that came to me in the car. And I said, you know what? I'm going to show you this. If it's too hard, that's okay. So I want you to pick C with your pointer finger, and I want you to go C, C, C. Then stretch your pinky to the second dot. That's an E. E, and then let go the E and pick C. So you're playing C, 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 E, C. Ready? Play this. C, 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 E, C. Now go to your F chord, hold F, and pick A, A, A. Put your finger on G, pick G, pick open A. Now go back to C again and pick C 3 times. C, C, C. Pick the E again, E, C. Now hold G7 and play B. B, just, or you can hit, just hit B, B, B. In order to play this style of playing, you must always hold the chord while playing the melody. If you do not hold the chords, you cannot play. It's like how you're going to watch, like, we had the honor of producing a couple of Ohta Jr.'s album. And Herb has a beautiful way of playing. But in order to play his style, you always have to hold the chords. You can't be just picking notes. It won't work. He'll explain more, but he's just got a beautiful way of playing the ukulele. Of course, his dad, Ohta-san, was my teacher, my mentor in life. So let's try this again. Pick C 3 times. C, 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 E, C. Now you're going to pick A 3 times, the open string. But remember, it won't work unless you hold F. Now pick A, A, A. Now you're going to pick G, open A. Now play the same thing again, C, C, C. C, 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 stretch to E, E, C. Now hold G7. Okay? That's it for now. All right. Now, do it one last time. But don't use your thumb. I want you to use this pointer finger. Pick the note up like this. Okay, so you're going to go C, 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 E, C. Now go to the F chord. A, A, A. G, A. Go back to C. C, 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 E, C. And now hold G7. B, B, B. If you can learn what I'm going to show you right now, it will open the door, just open the door slightly to the way of playing that really brings out a different style on playing. Now, I love teaching picking. I've done that my whole life, so this is why I'm going to show you this, because I think it's a great challenge for you. So remember how I told you how to pick the first note? Okay, I'm not going to hold the chord right now. You pick the bottom string. Okay, let's say these are your steps going up. You're going up the steps, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to pick this string. Now you're going to pick the top string. The ukulele I was going to use has the high G, but again there was something wrong. So I'm using this ukulele. Thank you, Lauren. So that's okay. If you have the high G, if your ukulele is tuned, it's actually better for this song. So you're gonna pick pointer, thumb. Now put your fingers on the inside 2 strings and go pointer, thumb. So the steps in order you're playing: the first step, 4th step, 2nd step, 3rd step. 1, 4, 2, 3. Okay? You got that? That's it. That's it. So if you practice this like this, now you put your finger on C. Every time you play a note, C, 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 you play that 4 picking cycle. play it 3 times. I'm sorry. Now you stretch to E and pick the E, pick the C. Now you're gonna play A, right? But you have to hold the chord. Now you play it. Play it again. Again. And now pick G, pick open A again, go back to C and play the same thing as the beginning. Now pick E once, C, G7, play it 3 times. On the 3rd time, just hit the first note and stop. So you're playing D, D, D. Now, if you have the small soprano ukulele, that is the best ukulele to practice this technique. Why? Because you'll just find out that, personally, for technique-wise, that's the best ukulele I use. If I want to play all the techniques that I've been able to learn and develop over all my years of playing the ukulele, whether it's knot, tap dance, whatever you play, it's a small ukulele that I was able to kind of perfect a lot of these things, you know. And right now you have this low G. It's okay, but if it's the high G, it would sound really neat. And you're basically doing this. Then you pick E, C, A, C, 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 E, C, D. There you go. You know. It's the ending. That's it. So all you're going to practice is this. So who is this meant for? Anybody. The other day I had to teach a little child, just turned 6 years old, just turned 6. And it was on Zoom. And I said, can I try something with you? And he goes, yeah, you know. I promise, he did this. And then he stretched to the E. So he had to pause. But when he went to F, this is what he did. And I'm not joking. 6, just made 6 last week. And I was able to show him this, you know. So it just shows that when you capture the attention of any student, if they hear something that they like, that's even more they're going to focus on. So just think, if every one of you can do this. Pointer, thumb, pointer, thumb. That's it. And you can just go, you can practice just with chords. You could go F, G7, and if you really want to go fast, go ahead and go fast. But I will tell you, no, just practice like that first. So that's basically, it's actually from an old song that actually Ohta Jr.'s father was playing with another ukulele player in a group, and it was basically that concept, but it was of course 5 times harder, much harder than that. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, if you have, once again, if you didn't catch it, just go back online to watch this. I'm gonna pass the ukulele back to Lauren now. Here, Lauren, come and get your ukulele. They're gonna play for you what ukulele concerto sounds like.
Okay. Ready?
that your regular version or your slow version?
The regular?
Okay, okay. I- anyway, I hope you folks could follow that song. Hey, I wonder if I can try something real quickly here. All right. Sarah, give me a note, please. Well, let me tell you what happened this morning. I'll just tell you. So Kama was telling the story to everyone here that, you know, you can call out any notes to Roy, and he'll write a song, you know. And I've done this practically my whole life. When, you know, I would just play notes, and as soon as I play notes, whatever notes I'm hearing, I'm going to follow those notes and write a song. So this morning, Kama said F, and then someone said A, and someone said B flat. So now I have to start off with F, A, and B flat, and write a song. So I know I'm not going to play the same thing I played earlier, but it would be something like this. So what I'm doing is I'm singing in my head. Da, da, dee, da, da, dee, 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 da, dee, ba, ba, dee, 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 ba, ba, da, dee, da, dee, ba, dee, dee, And this is how I write all my songs. So this is a great way for you folks that love picking, is to learn how to pick. You just hit one note, which I used to do. And now you sing something in your head and you follow the trend of what you're singing. You're gonna make tons of mistakes, but this is how you learn to hear something and you can play it on the ukulele without even having practiced it. I know that takes practice, but for those of you that are really ambitious and want to really become good ukulele players, it's a great way to practice because you have to listen to what you're singing and now apply it to the ukulele. And when you can do this, the next thing that you'll understand is you'll hear the harmony, you know, which takes us to the next song I have on the sheet, There Will Be a Tomorrow. And thanks to Sarah, she identified all the chords. You know, I could actually play this song with C and a D7 and G7 and F minor. But see, the song is da 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 dee da 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 dee ba ba da be. It's so simple, the melody. But I played the melody high. Excuse me, you're going to have to practice this because it's not easy. So let me just demonstrate slowly. So you hold that first diagram and you practice and hit it 3 times. Now you go to the next diagram and you hit it twice. Now that next chord is very difficult, C6. You slide the chord to the first fret. You slide it back to the second fret. And now you bar the 5th fret. You go to D minor 7, which Lauren taught you. And on the next line, you go to G7. And you let go the bottom string. And now you hold C. So when you hold the B flat fingering on the 3rd fret, this is C. So if you go back to the first line, I could substitute C for C6. So I could do this then. Because C is easier to hold. The thing about this, once you play that first line, the rest should be easier, because it repeats the same thing. You play this chord 3 times, you play the next chord twice, you play the chord on the second fret, and you slide again. Now I'm on the third line, D7. I bar the 5th, so this is a high D7 chord. I add the ring finger, and now I'm holding a G7 on the 3rd, 4th, and 5th fret. And there again is that same chord on the 5th. Oh, does that chord say C major 7? Oh no, that is a C major 6. Okay, it's a C major 6. So you play, and then you go to this chord, C6. Now I'm on the 4th line. There's a higher C7. And now I bar the 5th fret with my baby finger on F. I'm going to move my baby finger to E, and I'll tell you why. Now I'm going to stay on E and hold F minor 6, which is D minor on the 4th and 5th fret. I know most of you are not playing this, just watching, because this is hard. And now you put your ring finger underneath on D. And the next chord again is C6. You hit that chord twice. You go to C major 7. And the last line, C6, G7. You add your finger to G, back to G7. Go to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th fret, and you end with C. I wrote this out for, I assume that some of you are advanced ukulele players, and so I felt that since we're teaching things for, people that are learning to play the ukulele, and some of you who like picking, that would be great. But what I just showed you is very difficult to do. I mean, you really have to practice your fingering. I can play it, I can try and play it, but I'm sorry, but I cannot hold these chords good because this ukulele is too big for me. If you just joined us, something sounded wrong with my ukulele, so I didn't want to use it to teach today. But this, I'm gonna strum this way, because a lot of times when I play a song with all melody, I like to strum up, because now I hit the melody note first, rather than coming down. It's just preference, That's what you do. And then you repeat the same thing again. Well, almost the same thing. You go, then you go to D7, G7, and then it repeats again. You do the same chords. You go to C7, and now you go to F. F minor, and now back to the same chords. G7. Why do I teach this song like this? Okay, this is really getting advanced, but those of you that really play well, if I play like this, I can modulate by just moving my chord up 1 fret to G sharp 7. Now I play the same chords, every chord I move it up 1 fret. And it really sounds neat if you can do this. If I play the ending, again, this is hard to hold. You see what happened? You just lifted the song to a different key, and it sounds so beautiful. So what happens is, when students can play this song and hold every chord, they all modulate a half step higher because they love it. You already know the fingering. You're just moving every chord up one fret, okay? So this is what the song, There Will Be a Tomorrow, is all about. It's just a song for you folks to practice and enjoy. Have fun on this song because it's not easy to do, okay? And, I want to go over this one more time because, again, we're celebrating our 52nd annual Ukulele Festival, which is July 17th. You can go online to watch it. For those of you in Hawaii, you can watch it on KHNL TV at 7 o'clock in the evening. Okay? And please, ladies and gentlemen, all of you out there, don't forget our silent auction. See, look at all those beautiful ukuleles to bid on. And of course, we have the Ala Moana Center 2-night stay, Jack Johnson tickets on July 29th to 30th. We have the Hawaiian hosts, and we have all those ukuleles. So please bid on those, because the whole purpose is that we're trying to raise money for our nonprofit. Our nonprofit, what it does, it supports children from disadvantaged families or just don't have the means to get an ukulele. We also donate ukuleles to Children's Hospital, to the cancer wing, because these are children. We found out, and I've mentioned this many times, that when we put a musical instrument like an ukulele, which is so easy to learn, you put it in the hands of a young child or someone that's going through a medical situation. Just enjoyment of playing the ukulele, it helps to stimulate healing. Now this, it must work, because now they're doing it throughout hospitals all over the US as well as in Europe. That's what I understand from people that have followed this trend. So, you know, I want to thank all of you, and for all the years that you have supported Ukulele Festival Hawaii. It's been a pleasure. For my wife and I, Kathy, she's not here today because she's busy working on the final editing for the film to be shown next week. And I want to thank Craig and Sarah and everyone here that has supported this workshop. And I'm going to end a little early because I want to talk to this gentleman before he starts his workshop. And if you have any questions, you know, you can just email our website, ask questions if you have. I'll be glad to answer them. But this gentleman that's coming on now, as I said earlier, we had the privilege of producing a couple of his albums. And he's just won, he's received so many accolades for all the things he's done in music. Let me just read a little about him, because this is amazing. But you know what? I think, wait, before I do that, I think I have one more historical footage. So please, he's getting set up right now. So let's take a break here and watch this historical footage.
Playing ukulele is more fun. Because it's fun.
Sophisticated hoorah is the talk of the town. It's the Mene Hune Beach Bum Boogie. Oh, what a sight. Mene Hune Beach Bum Boogie. And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Wahine ilikea, ikapoli o Molokai, no kaheke. Okay, aloha, no Hawaii. Ladies and gentlemen, Ukulele Festival 2000!
before we continue, I'd like to a very special mahalo to Kamaka Ukulele because they have supported us for 52 years. When I was a young boy, I walked into there and I asked Mr. Sam Kamaka if he would help sponsor a festival, and he gladly did it. And can you imagine, this family has supported us for the entire 52-year history of Ukulele Festival Hawaii. So Sam, and to the wonderful Kamaka family, Sam passed away just recently. God bless him, almost to his 100th birthday. But his children and the family is taking over this legacy of Kamaka Ukulele. And our next guest plays Kamaka Ukulele. And before I introduce him, I'm going to read what is written about him because, okay, it's going to take a while. Here we go. You guys have 10 minutes? Here we go. He is the son of legendary Ohta-san. And as I shared earlier, Ohta-san was my teacher. He not only taught me the ukulele, he gave me the opportunity to teach. And he was also a very strong disciplinarian. I needed that because I was such a lost child. And his presence and his strict way of teaching me and keeping me straight on line helped me to get to a really difficult time in my life. So his father means a lot to me. Well, Ohta Jr. has been nominated for 16 Nahoku Hano Hano Award nominations. That's the highest musical award in the state of Hawaii. He has 6 Nahoku awards. He has 4 Hawaii Music Awards. He's an educator. He is a performer. He's a comedian at times, I think. And he has toured worldwide. And also, he is a board member of our foundation, Ukulele Festival Hawaii. Herb, as well as Jake, are board members, so we can't thank them enough. But I have to tell you right now, it's always a pleasure being around him, talking to him. He's so insightful. So I'm really looking forward to his workshop. Are you ready?
No.
He said no, which means he's ready. He was playing the ukulele just when the commercial was on. He's just flying all over the place. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I present to you the amazing Ohta Jr.
Aloha. Welcome to Workshop Day, Ukulele Festival Hawaii. I'd like to commend and say what a great job Kama did, Lauren, and of course Roy, and also Lopaka here backing everybody up, and also Craig and Sarah for doing all this work behind the scenes to have you folks enjoy today. What we're gonna go over today is a song called Hawaii Aloha. We have a state anthem, and it's Hawaii Pono'i. But if you notice, if you go to a lot of Hawaii gatherings, small, large, formal, informal gatherings, this song is probably the most performed, sung, celebrated. People raise their hands at the end, but I'm not going to go there. That's another topic. But I'm going to be teaching you how to pick the song and also using the chords at the same time. Those of you who have taken my workshops before know what to expect. Those of you who hasn't taken my workshop before, surprise! Surprise! Okay. I'm just so excited that July 17th, 1 week from now, is our 52nd annual Ukulele Festival, and just looking forward to it. Kind of mixed emotions, but let's get through today. Let's celebrate the ukulele today, and we'll celebrate it next weekend. And moving forward, we'll celebrate it every day. Okay. So let's make sure everyone's in tune. You folks in tune. Okay. First string A. Second string E. Third string C. Fourth string high G. Low G. Okay. The reason why I ask you folks to tune is because we all want to get along and sound okay. Because even though we could all be playing together in a group, in person, later on, if someone's out of tune, it's gonna sound terrible. Okay. So.
We tune because we care.
Yeah, we care. Well, Craig cares more than others. Anyways, okay. So they all must have this, right?
And I've got it too.
Okay. If you notice the first measure, there's a pickup measure, okay? So you're resting for 2 beats. So you're counting 1, 2, and then you pick that G note, that third space on the second string, and then 0. Okay, so it's like 1, 2, and, okay? Everyone got that? Do it again. 1, 2, and, okay? Okay, you look at the second measure, or section A. Okay, you're strumming the G chord there. The melody is a B. Okay. So without the chord, it will sound like 1 and 2 and. Okay. But my father's style of playing that I heavily borrow, I'm using the chord, the G chord, the 0, 2, 3, 2, and I'm strumming all 4 strings. So 1, 2, and. Okay. You guys got that? Let's try that again. 1 and 2 and. Okay, good. Okay, the next chord that you see is 0, 2, 3, 3. Okay, it's a G sus. So what you can do is hold it 0, 2, 3, and then you can use the 3 here with your ring finger. Or if you're double jointed like me, I hold a G chord and I bend my ring finger like this. I know that kind of looks disgusting because it looks disgusting to me when I look at it. But I got that from my dad. I don't know. My dad does it all the time. He can do it with all 5 fingers. I mean 4 fingers. I don't know how you do that with your thumb. You can't do that with your thumb, can you? Be double jointed with your thumb.
Some can.
You can? Yeah. I did not know that. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna play the pickup measure and the next 2 measures. Okay, first 2 measures of section A. Okay, so it sounds like this: 1 and 2 and. Okay. You look at measure 3. That first chord is a regular G chord, 0, 2, 3, 2. Then you pick the third note on the third space on the second string, that's a G note. Then you strum 0, 0, 3, because the melody note is your G note, that's your third space on your second string. So when I strum the chord, I want that note to be amplified a little bit, so I'm only strumming the top 3 strings. Okay, you hear that? That's a melody note. Okay, and then you picked 0, the second string. Okay, so let's play that first 3 measures. Okay, 1, 2, and G chord. Okay, do that one more time. 1 and 2 and. Okay, moving on to the next measure. You just pick the D, the second space on the third string, and then you're strumming the G chord for 3 beats. Okay, normally in regular sheet music you would just see a whole note, the D as a whole note. Okay, But my father's way of playing is he likes to fill up space. So we're including the G chord for 3 beats, okay? So let me play the first 4 measures for you, okay? 1, 2, and. G chord. Okay. Moving on to the next measure, you're strumming the G chord, the same chord. So don't lift your fingers off. Okay. So what I like to do on measure 4, when I pick this note, I automatically go to the G chord. Okay. Watch. Father always said that you should always hold the chord when you're picking melody, because if you need to strum, you don't have to go looking for it. It's right there. Okay, so if it's possible, as much as possible, see if you can hold the chord while you're picking melody, because it defeats the time of lifting your fingers off and relocating the chord. Okay. Okay, does that make sense? How you guys doing? It's cold in here. Okay, let's try the first line. Okay, you can follow. If you look at measure 5, you strum the G chord twice, then you pick 2, 3. Okay, simple. So let's play the whole first line. Ready? 1 and 2 and. G chord. 2 more times. 2, 3. Okay. Had a strong gust of wind just now. Did you guys hear that? Okay. Do it one more time, the whole first line. 1 and 2 and. G chord twice. 2, 3. All right. Let's move on. Okay. So you folks, if you folks can notice already that you're filling up a lot of space by using the chords. Yeah. And that's heavily borrowed from my father's way of playing. See, my father, he used to play with a group. I used to have like a rhythm section. He used to have drums or percussions, a guitar player, vibes, bass, even a vocalist at times through the 60s and 70s. And then we were born, my sister and I, and decided that and figured out that he made more money playing solo. So to put my sister and I through school, he had to develop a style of filling up space so that when he performed solo, it sounded like someone was actually there playing with him. It's hard to do. My father's the only person I know that does that flawlessly. I think, what's that guy? Oh, Jake. I know he's watching, that's why. He does it pretty good. Not bad. But is your phone going off? Is he texting?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
All right.
He might, though.
Yeah, he might. Okay. So anyway, look at measure 6, second line. You're picking 0, the first string 0, the A note. Then you're strumming 2020 D7 chord. I know people call it the Hawaiian D7. I just call it a D7 without the root. But it's a nice chord to play, right? So you pick the first note, 1 beat, you strum the D7, second beat, then you pick the D note, the second space on the 3rd string, that's for the 3rd beat, and then you strum the D7 again, 2020 for the 4th beat, okay? So I'm gonna play measures 5 and 6. Take a listen. 2, 3, and 4, and G chord. 2, 3, 0, strum, D, strum. Okay? Pretty straightforward. Look at measure 7. You're strumming 2, 0, 0. I did it that way because it's easier to play, but you should play it 2, 2, 0. Okay, I know it's kind of weird, but you're just passing through, then 2, 0, 2, then 2, 0, 3, then 2, 0, 2, 0. Okay, so your melody is, okay, so do the 2, 0, 0 if you can't do the 2, 2, 0. Okay, so I'm gonna play measure 6, 7, and 8. Take a listen. 2, 3, 4. G chord. Okay, let's do that one more time. Measure 6, 7, and 8. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, now by yourselves, go. I don't know why you guys laughing. I'm just giving them time to practice. Okay, let's move to look at measure 9. Strum the 2, 0, 2, 0 twice for the first and second beat. And then you pick the 3, the G note, the third space on the second string. And then the first string open, A. What is that?
Question.
You have a question?
Yeah. So can you talk a little bit about why you're manipulating what part of your thumb you're using for different parts of the arrangement?
I don't know. Oh, well, I mean, to fill up space, you know, when I'm picking, and say like, for example, you look at measure 7. Okay, your melody note is 0, 2, 3, 0. Right? The 0 meaning on the second string, 0, 2, 3, then the first string 0. So what I'm doing is that I'm using the top part of my nail to accent that, right? To emphasize that. So, and I'm using the same part of my nail for the second space on the first string, the B note. And to fill up the rest of the measure, I'm using the side of my nail, so it's like a feathery kind of sound. It's a lower in volume, okay? You can do that if you want, or if you don't want to do that, that's up to you.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah, sorry. Any other questions before I move on?
So far, that's it. I'll let you know.
Okay. Let's play the whole second line. Okay? From measure 6 through 9. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. D7. 3, 0. Okay? Okay, let's do the first 2 lines. I know you folks thinking, well, how did the first line go again? It's okay. Because they're going to be able to rewatch this, right?
Yep.
Okay. From the beginning. Ready? 1 and 2 and. go. One more time. Let's do it one more time. Ready? 1 and 2 and. Okay. And let's move on. Section B. You guys kind of hear the song? Recognize the song? I hope so. Because if not, then I'm probably teaching it wrong. Okay. Look at section B. It's kind of similar to the section A. It's just that the timing of the notes is different. So I'm gonna play, because it's familiar, I'm gonna play measures 10, 11, 12, and 13, the whole third line. Okay, take a listen. 2, 3, and 4, and G chord, sus. It's actually simpler than section A, okay? Because in section A, you look at the second measure, you have 2 eighth notes, right? Right? But my advice, if you look at section A, please do not lift your fingers off after you strum the chord, okay? You strum section A, take a look at section A. You strum the G chord, don't lift your fingers off. Stay there because you're already holding the B note, okay? Sus. If possible, you can use your pinky here on the third space on the first string to make it a sus. And just let go and pick the 2 B notes, okay? And then you strum again, see? So it cuts some time then instead of you doing. Right, because your fingers are already there, okay? Again, heavily borrowed from my father. If you can't do it, I'm sorry. It's my dad's fault. Okay? Let's play section B, the whole third line again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'll give you folks 10 seconds to practice on your own. Go for it. Okay, pencils down. Okay, look at measure 14 and 15. Okay. So you pick the first string open, then you strum the D7, then you pick the D note twice, the second space on the third string. Then you're gonna pick the 2, the B note on the first string. But you see the next chord is 2, 2, 2, 2, okay? So my advice is from measure 14 to, I want you to already bar it there. Then you pick the second space because you're already holding it, yeah, on the first string. Then you strum there. Then you let go. Then you strum the 2, 0, 2, 0. Okay? Watch. 2, 3, 4. See that? It defeats the purpose of doing this and then barring it. Yeah? It cuts that time. Again, 14 and 15. Okay. Let's play together again. 14 and 15. 2, 3, 4. If those of you are having a hard time barring it at 2, 2, 2, 2, what I do is, if you notice, I put my middle finger on top of my pointer. Yeah. So it has more strength, pressing down on all 4 strings. Okay, you see that? Instead of just doing this, I feel more comfortable doing this. Okay, look at measure 16. You just pick the G note. And if you notice, I'm already using my ring finger because I have to strum the G chord anyways. Okay, let's play 14, 15, and 16. Are we going too fast?
So far, everybody seems okay.
Okay, are we going too slow?
Let us know in the chat.
Okay. So if you look at measure 17, okay, the last measure on the 4th line on the first page, you're gonna play G7. So after you strum the G chord in the prior measure, strum G7, then you're gonna pick 3, 1, okay? All right, so let's play 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, the last line on the first page.
Everybody's saying perfect pace.
Awesome. Okay, ready? Measure 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another gust of wind. G chord, G7. 3, 1. Okay, awesome. I'm giving you folks a minute or two to practice on your own. If you have any questions, please reach out to us on chat and I'll try and answer it as best as possible.
Can you tell a joke while they're practicing?
No. No jokes. You know, if Jake was here, he would be telling jokes. So. Good, every room has a noise. Yeah? Remember now, if you can't get it at the pace that we're going, and you don't feel like you're not playing clean enough, and your tone is not strong enough, don't worry, because you always have time to practice rewatching this. So, no pressure. Just have fun doing it, and you're learning a very, very, I should say, important song that people of Hawaii sing. You have 30 seconds. $20 seconds. $10 seconds. Okay. Let's move on. Look at the second page. There's a big number 12 on it, but it's the second page. Okay. Section C. Okay. We look at measure 18. Okay, you're gonna pick 0, then 2 zeros is 8 notes, right? So you go 1 and 2 and 3 and then your F sharp, second space on your second string. Okay, take a listen. 3, 4 and Moving on. Measure 19. 3, 3, and then 2 8th notes. Okay. Again. Measure 19. 3, 4. Okay. Let's play 18 and 19 together. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's look at measure 20. You pick the D note, the second space on the third string, G chord. Pick the G. If you notice, I kept the G chord there because all you're playing is the D, the G, and the B before the strums. All right, so D, strum, G, strum, B, strum. Okay, then 2, 3. Okay, let's play the whole first line on the second page, 18 through 21. Okay, 2, 3, 4. G, G chord, G chord. Okay. Any questions? Okay, let's move on. If you have any questions coming through the chat, we'll go back. Measure 22. I use my pinky for the 5th fret on the first string. That's a D note. Okay? So remember now, going from measure 21, you're going to pick the B note, G chord, B, the 2, 3, and then move your pinky to the 5. And then put your index finger on the second space on the third string and your middle finger on the third space on the second string. Here's your 0, 2, 3, 5. Okay? So I'm going to play measure 21 and 22. Okay? 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to strum the 0, 2, 3, 5 times. Then 3, 2. Okay? Let's try that again. Let's do 21, 22, and 23. Okay? 2, 3, 4, B, G chord. 2, 3, 5. 1 and 2 and. Okay? Let's move on. 24. Measure 24. You're gonna pick the 0 note, the 0 on the first string. That's the A note. Then strum the D7 3 times, and then moving on 2 more times. Then back to your melody of your song. Okay. So let's play 20. Actually, let's play from section C, top of page 2. Measure 18 through 25. I know it seems like a lot, but it's really not. Okay? Okay, ready? Measure 18. 2, 3, 4. Hold that G chord. 2, 3, 5. D7. Okay, let's do that one more time. Relax, have fun. If you get up, don't let yourself get to the point of frustration, because when you do, you're gonna stop playing. Trust me, been there, done that. Not with this instrument though. It's with viola. Anyways, I hated the viola. It's a great instrument, but I hated it. Yeah. No, I'm serious, because I was actually like 4th seat in 7th grade. And by default, I was first chair my senior in high school because I was a senior. But yeah, I didn't like it at all. I remember bringing it home one day to practice, and my dad goes, "Take it back." What is that you're playing? Okay, anyways. Let's do section B and C. Okay, section B is on the first page, measure 10. And we're playing all the way through 25. Okay? Ready. Start with the G chord. 2, 3, 4. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and D7. G chord, G7. Hold that G chord. Okay?
You have one question.
Yes.
Could you do Could you do half note strums with the melody on that C chord in bars 18 and 19? Can you do half note strums with the melody?
On 18 and 19?
Yes.
Half note strums.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so you can, if you want, on section 18, that first note, that 0 note, that quarter note, that E note. Did I say 3 different notes or the same note? Okay. You can actually strum 0, 0, 0, right? You can do it again. Okay? Then you can do the 0, 0, 3. Okay? I just didn't put the chords in. It would be, just to pick it through. But you can fill it up with chords. So measure 18, that first note, you can do 0, 0, 0. Strum the top 3 strings. After the 2 8th notes, on the next quarter note, that 0, that E note, you can do 0, 0, 0. You pick the 2, then you can, and for measure 19, you can do 0, 0, 3, and then the next 0, 0, 3. Then you pick the 2 8th notes, the G notes, the 3, 3, and the 0 on the second string. You can do 0, 0, 0 if you choose to. Okay? Yeah, you can actually strum all the notes if you want to. I recommend not doing it because to me, I think mixing chords with plucked melody, it gives the song oxygen, air. You have the chords fill up the dead space, and the melody you're able to hear the melody. Okay, so I think that's important.
Thanks, Rick.
Yeah. Where were we?
You had gone through measure 25.
Did we play it already?
Yep.
Oh, we did. Okay, section D. Measure 26. Back to your melody, but it's different. You see all these 8th notes, and that could be intimidating. It is to me. But take a listen. I'm going to play measure 26, 27. Okay? Let's see if I can play this right. Okay? 2, take a listen. 2, 3, 4, Okay. If you notice on measure 27, you playing the second space on the first string, that B note. The next note is a G note, third space on the second string, and it's a tie. Okay, so you're resting for half a beat. Okay, so it's 1 and rest. Okay, this is your tempo. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, listen to that again. I'm gonna play measure 26 and 27. Take a listen. 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. Did I? 6, 7, 8, 1. Sorry, I saw. Bill Haley, Rock Around the Clock. Stop laughing. Okay. Okay, where was I? 26 and 27. Okay. 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay? So I'm going to play 26, 27, 28. Listen. 3, 4. If you want to, on measure 27, after the 2, 3, the tie, the 3, and the quarter note, the G note, the third space on the second string, you can play 0, 0, 3 if you want to. And the next note, 0, you can play 0, 0, 0 if you want to. Leaving it up to you. Okay? Let's do that again. 26, 27, 28. 2, 3, 4. Measure 29 and 30. Okay? You're strumming G chord twice, then 2 eighth notes there. Yeah? G chord twice, 2 G, G, then D7. Okay? Take a listen again. Measures 29 and 30. 2, 3, 4. If you look at 31, it's the same as measure 15 on the first page. Okay? Just go to that bar. Okay. Let's do 31, 32, 33. Okay. Take a listen first. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then it actually, there's a tag. It repeats. If you look at it, measure 30, 34. It's the same as measure 30. Yeah. And then 31 is the same as 35. Okay? So call it a tag. So I'm going to play the whole section D part all the way to the end because it's basically repeating itself. Okay? Take a listen. 2, 3, and 4, and rest. G chord. Retard, slow down. And that's basically the ending of the song. Okay? So, I'm going to give you folks 47 seconds to practice on your own. Go for it.
And folks are saying this is a great pace. Thank you so much. This has been perfect. So thank you so much, Herb.
Oh. And the reason why I give you folks time to practice instead of just moving on and moving on and moving forward is that it gives you folks time to review on your own. So.
And they're saying thank you so much for bringing this to everybody who can't travel.
I didn't hear one thing he said. I couldn't hear you. I didn't bring the lyric sheet. Oh, it's right here. Because there's actually like 2 verses to this song, or 3, I believe, but everyone sings only 1. Okay, time's up. Okay, let's do whole section D again, and then we're gonna play the whole song. Okay, section D. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and 4, and rest. One and 2 and 2, 3, 3, 0. D7. G chord, 1 and 2 and last time, retard, slow down. Okay? Now, let's do the whole song. Let's be ambitious. Who cares we make mistakes? I make them all the time. But I have one expression, so I know how to hide it pretty well. Okay? Let's go from the beginning. You have a pickup measure. Remember? Okay, ready? Is that a good tempo?
Yep.
All right. Ready? 3. 1 and 2 and. that G chord. One and two and. Rest. Okay. Okay, at the end. Okay, at the very end, when you go to gatherings, like I said, small gatherings, large gatherings, formal, informal, most people go to the 4 chord at the end. 4 chord meaning the C chord in the key of G. So normally you would hear and then end with a G chord. Okay, but I didn't put that in because it was just easier for me to just tell you. Okay, because not everyone does that, but most people do. Okay, when we sing it. So, any questions?
Everybody's super happy and lots of clapping.
Yay! Good job, Craig, Sarah, Roy, Lauren.
Great. And you're not finished.
Oh, I didn't say. I didn't think I was.
Actually, let's see what we're about wrapping up at this time, but we want to save you for one last song, okay?
One last song.
Yeah, later on in about a little while.
Okay.
But do you have any? You have any more comments on your song?
No. It's just that my advice to all of you who participated today, just have fun playing this instrument that we love and cherish so much. And again, when you're learning something and you're trying to learn something new, don't let yourself get to the point of frustration, because you'll consider it as like a chore to practice or to learn anything new. So if you can't get something clean or the tone that you want, take a break, go do something else, come back to it. And you refresh yourself in your mind and your fingers and just your approach to the instrument. Because if you keep doing that, then you'll never hit that point of frustration and you'll always have fun playing. So just keep that in mind.
Thank you, Herb. No, what happens if they're playing the viola?
Oh.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking, Herb. Just joking. Come on, let's give Herb a big hand. Wasn't that great? All right.
Thank you.
Herb Jr. Okay, we're not finished yet. We're going to be wrapping up, but at this time, Herb, you've been traveling worldwide. So this summer, will you be off and going all over again eventually?
No.
No, not yet.
We're in talks of doing more things in 2023. So
that's wonderful. I mean, right now in Hawaii, we're still trying to stay safe. So if you plan to visit Hawaii, stay safe. Many of us, especially the local people, we're all wearing masks when we're outside. It's just a way of, because at one time, several weeks ago, Hawaii, the pandemic was really high. So, stay safe at all times. I have at this time a special video to show you. It's from Mike Upton, who's president of Kala Ukulele. Here's a message from Mike.
You can tell a joke for a couple.
Oh, okay. So this is a message from Mike Upton, again, the president of Kala Ukulele, who's currently arriving in Hawaii tomorrow.
Hi, Roy and Kathy. Aloha, everybody. Just want to express my sincere appreciation, thanks, and just loads of love for Roy and Kathy and everybody involved with the Ukulele Festival. So sorry that the event couldn't be in person, but hey, you know, we're there in spirit, I'm there in spirit, and I love you guys and just everything that you stand for in teaching kids and just promoting ukulele and just the joy it brings really all over the world, as we've seen in these last 20 years. It's just amazing. Continued just success and just God bless you guys. I love you. Okay, bye.
Thank you, Mike, and we're looking forward to seeing you in Hawaii tomorrow. We have a concert with Jake and a group called Pure Heart on Wednesday. Mike's going to be here, and it's going to be held at the zoo. So for all of you on Oahu, if you want to join us, it's at the Honolulu Zoo this coming Wednesday. But more importantly right now, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to tune in on July 17th on KHNO TV at 7 o'clock in the evening, the 52nd Annual Ukulele Festival, which also will be online to see. So we hope all of you get a chance to watch it. You know, I'm not going to share anything. You're going to have to watch it, but there's a lot of special guests coming on for that final production. And one of them that you saw earlier on the historical footage, Danny Kalikini, who's been our MC for all this time on the ukulele, one of the greatest entertainers in Hawaii, the ambassador of Aloha from the state of Hawaii. When I first asked him to help us and to be the MC, he came and he's been here every single year. You saw him at the very end singing Hawaii Aloha. So I asked Lauren impromptu just a few minutes ago, hey, can you come up with Lopaka and Herb and do Hawaii Aloha in the key that Herb just taught you folks, in the key of G? So that's going to be happening in a few minutes from now, okay? But at this time, I want to make sure that I don't forget anything. So please visit our silent auction. Look at all these beautiful ukuleles up for bid. Kamaka ukulele, a Koaloha ukulele, a Kanilea ukulele, the Martin Is ukulele, the Kala ukulele, the Shima ukulele, and also our 50th anniversary special souvenir ukulele, as well as tickets to Jack Johnson, Hawaiian Host candies, and of course, we're right here at the beautiful Moana Hotel, and you can bid on a 2-night stay at this hotel with an ocean view. And we are right next to the Moana Hotel and right across the street from Moana Beach. So it's a great place to spend your family vacation here, right at this hotel. Well, I also want to thank these sponsors again, because without them, all this would not have been possible. So I'm going to read this list here. We have the Tony Group, the Hawaii Tourism Authority, the Honolulu Service Disposal. We have the Johnson Ohana Foundation, the Moana Hotel, like I said earlier, the LRY Foundation, Diotani Produce, the Diamond Head Seafood Company, the World of Aloha, and this is the Ohana, Aloha Ohana, and this is Danny Kalikini's nonprofit that has helped us so much. We have Kamaka Ukulele, Ko'olau Ukulele, Ko'aloha Ukulele, Kanilea Ukulele, Kala Ukulele, Hawaiian Host, Clayton Chain. We have Aquila Strings, the ukulele site, Shima Ukulele, McDonald's Hawaii used to always bring out the refreshments every year for all our volunteers and performers. Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a great time. And you know, as Herb was talking about the Hawaii Aloha, and everybody was here today, we had Kama Hopkins, who had to run off to do another gig today. And I hope you enjoyed Kama, because he was just great. And we had Lauren Baba, who showed you a pop way of playing. And of course, Herb just showed you his beautiful rendition, a very simple rendition that he was able to teach you Hawaii Aloha. And I wanted to bring up one more thing before I leave you. Remember I showed you this picking technique where you just go, you know. Okay, this leads to a lot of other things. That was just a sample, because the whole purpose of this formula is when you play the strings like this, if you're looking to play a little more speed, then you notice you're always alternating between the pointer and the thumb. Now, it can go fast. You can create your own techniques like or see? Now, I didn't move my finger, it just stayed on one chord. Or I can do it on C. You can go. When you play it with the high G, it's a really great technique. And the whole purpose of this technique, which I'm showing you, is that you always alternate. If you start with the pointer, it's pointer, thumb, pointer, thumb, pointer, thumb, pointer, thumb, pointer, thumb. That's the way that you can develop speed and just make your song sound interesting. You know, rather than going, you can just go. Just so many variations to this, okay? So that's a little bit of why I wanted to introduce this technique. Okay, so at this time, we are actually a little ahead of time, but I want to call up at this time, we're going to bring up Lauren, we're going to bring up Lopaka, and of course, the one and only Ohta Jr. So we're going to do for you Hawaii Aloha, and they're asking me to sit here. I was going to tell them to play on that side, but they said this is a wider stage. See, you can also use 3 fingers. Okay, that's enough for now. There you go.
No,
All right.
you play.
Oh, okay. Herb, you be our rhythm section. Okay, Herb's gonna lead us.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shall I slide over this way?
Scoot over this way.
No.
You sit right there, Roy.
Okay.
I'll scoot over there.
I should not move.
See you, yeah?
There you go. All right. Okay. Take it away, Herb.
Huh?
You give us an intro or anything so Lauren can come just fly. You ready?
Yes.
2.
E Hawai'i e ku'uone hanau e ku'uhome kula'irine
from Hawaii. Aloha! And thank you to all our sponsors and to our great production team, Craig and Sarah, back there doing everything. So thank you very much, everybody. And we'll see you in Hawaii, and come and visit us. Aloha.